The NFL is absolutely loaded with talent right now. The Bills, Rams, Raiders, and a bunch of others are stacked. But I think Justin Herbert and the Chargers may have what it takes to win it all.
From the 10, Herbert fires back of the end zone and is caught.
You and I both know that Justin Herbert is one of the most talented players in the league. But is he really good enough to lead LA to a Super Bowl? I mean, Philip wasn't able to do it, and he had 15 years. So how could Justin do it in 2? Well, let's just say that he has some help. Not only does he just have his buds in Eckler and Allen, but the new additions on the defensive side, along with Derwin back from injury, will help quite a bit. Considering that the Chargers are getting nearly top 5 odds at winning the Super Bowl with the new additions alone, if Herbert is able to take his production up a notch, then I have no doubt that he could be playing in February. Although he really never played in many big games while at Oregon, and hasn't made the playoffs yet in the NFL, there's so much talent around him that it makes it seem unimportant. Justin has a dog in him, and his work ethic proves that. After struggling in a joint practice against Dallas a few weeks ago, while others left, Justin stayed back and just kept throwing the football. But it wasn't just that practice either. His number one target in Keenan Allen has talked about how Justin usually stays an hour and a half after practice just tossing the football. He called it crazy, but it just proves that Justin loves the sport and wants to constantly be at the top of his game. And I mean, I think you gotta be somewhat crazy to be a great quarterback. And it seems like Justin has that box checked off big time. I talked about it earlier, but the Chargers are one of the most stacked teams in football. There's Herbert, Eckler, Allen, Williams, and a few others on the offense. And their defense has guys like Bosa, Mack, JC, and Derwin back from injury. May seem like a step or so below their neighbors in the Rams, but I think that they could outperform them this year. After a team wins the Super Bowl, they usually regress a bit the following season, and so although I think they'll still be good, I could see the Chargers being on a different level. Stafford is solid, but he's much older, and so I doubt that he has much room to grow, while it seems like the sky's the limit for Herbert's potential. He's already proven quite a bit in just under 2 years, so if he can sharpen his skill set and establish a great repertoire with his teammates, then the Chargers could be the top dogs in the AFC sooner than you would think. Although the conference is full of great teams, it usually comes down to whichever quarterback can take over, and I think Justin's athleticism and determination can help him lead the Chargers to some big wins. Now that he is one of the most loaded defenses in football on the other side, he will be put in situations that he's never been in before, and if his past 2 years are anything to go by, my man can do his thing when he's given the opportunity. Sure, there are studs like Josh Allen, Mahomes, and Joe Burrow in the same conference, but I would argue that the Chargers have one of the most well-rounded teams in football, so they will be tough to stop no matter who you are. No matter the case, out of the bunch I think the biggest threat is Josh and the Bills. And if those two meet up in a big game, then it's really just on Herbert to prove if he is that guy. And if not, then it's pretty much impossible to win. If I had to guess about what's ahead for Herbert and the Chargers in 22, I would predict an 11-6 or 12-5 record, and in the playoffs that they would beat a team like Miami and Kansas City in the first round, then take out Cincy or the Titans the following, and match up against a team like Vegas or Buffalo in the AFC Championship, which would be tough either way, but I still think the Chargers could end up on top. In a potential Super Bowl, I think they would face the other LA team in the Rams, and once again I think they could close the deal with Herbert as a Super Bowl MVP. As you could tell, quite a bit of stuff has to go right for the Chargers to get this far in the first place, but when you have a bunch of talent, it makes the whole process much easier, and so I think it could very well become a reality. The Chargers believe in Herbert, and his game backs it up. Like as Eckler would say, we got our guy. And when you got someone with limitless potential, it means the team could be really special. Justin hasn't even played for 2 full seasons yet, and LA has already rallied around him, and upon that believe that he could be their guy for the next decade or so, which is why I don't think it's crazy to believe that they could be great. In football, there's great players, and great players that love the game, and Justin loves the game about as much as anyone out there. Even so much that the idea of being a quarterback for another 2 decades seems like a dream to him. The thing about Justin is, there are no real limits on his game because he's not just talented, he's also extremely determined, which usually leads to a Hall of Fame career. And in Justin's case, I think it could push him to become one of the best quarterbacks of the 21st century. Since Justin is in one of the best spots out there, I don't think it would be that difficult for him to consistently play at a high level. His mental toughness is similar to a 40-year-old at only 24, and if you combine that with his arm talent, you got someone unique. Former lineman Ryan Harris, who played with Big Ben and Peyton Manning, has called Herbert the best quarterback that he's ever seen. And the crazy part is that he hasn't even hit his stride yet. Considering the fact that the Chargers have their best roster in decades, and Justin was already a beast before then, I don't see any reason why he shouldn't be in the running for MVP this year. By that, I don't just mean in the picture. I mean him and Josh could be battling it out for the top spot from beginning to end. I could very well be wrong, and Burrow or Brady or someone else could win it. But considering all the storylines going around, and the fact that neither Josh nor Justin have won it, I think it's pretty dang likely. Both are only getting better, and I think in Justin's case, he could take an extremely large 30-year jump simply because he's more comfortable and set up for success than ever before. Coaches will always gas you up, but in Justin's case, it seems like every single player, coach, and person around him thinks the best out of his talent, focus, and potential, which gives me the impression that he's that guy. Justin Herbert is one of the most talented NFL players of the past decade, and I still think he has a lot left in the tank.
3rd and 3. Herbert loads it up. Separation. Catch made. Mike Williams.
Thanks for watching the video. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to subscribe, like, and comment down below stuff you want next. But anyways, see you all soon, and peace out.